Hey guys, Bipp here, or my league Thindus. I'm gonna bring you guys a guide on how to become a better league player. Now, I'm mostly just making this for newer players, or for players that are currently struggling. I'm not right now. This is not gonna make you a platinum player or diamond player, or whatever. This isn't gonna make you the next big deal. It isn't even coming from a professional. This is just some little things that I do that other players do that are just really simple. I guess not simple, but just little things that we don't think about, but are really big deals in becoming a better player. So without further ado, we're just going to jump right into it. First thing that's very important is, and I didn't buy any right now because I want to go Doran's Blade, he's playing Twitch and getting that AD. Anyways, um, warding is a huge deal in this game. It's a universal thing. It makes it make or break your lane, make or break the game, especially later game for Baron and Dragon stuff. But in lane, you need to ward. Warding for mid, top, and bottom. It's very important. The places I like to ward up top, this is just for the top lane, are here. Because a lot of junglers, especially normals, will just come and sit up here and just chill out until, just chill until they can get a good gank off, so you can get good vision if they come in there. The next place I like to ward a lot is this tri-bush, regardless of what side I'm on. Just gives you vision if they come through this way. If they do have a pink there or saw you ward it, they'll come through this way. And/or this is my favorite spot to ward in top lane, honestly, because right here, because it just gives you vision, especially if you're like red side or purple side, whatever side. It gives you vision of them if they're doing blue, if they're coming up through it, and it just gives you good vision of if they're coming through river or not. So it's just a good spot to ward. So that's my top lane warding, and that's how I top lane ward. So next I'm gonna show you some mid lane warding that I do, and then I'm gonna go through the other things. So forgive me, this is gonna take a second. If you're already confident in your warding, you can just try to skip ahead until I start last hitting minions, and that's will be the next thing. Spots I like to ward is mid. Regardless of what side I'm on, that bush right there, I like to ward. It just kind of gives you good vision of everything around here. My favorite spot to ward, though, is near wraiths, if I can get a ward off, because it gives you vision of wraiths if they're doing them. Kind of this whole area if they come through. Same thing over here. And also that bush there, of course. And then if you kind of can't, if you don't want to risk running out of lane, you can always just quickly ward these. I'm not saying they're good wards, but they're not bad, so you kind of have a shot at seeing the jungler when they come. So a lot of junglers do hang out in those areas for the gank, but it just gives you a chance. Next, we're going to head to bottom lane. Bottom lane, I like to ward dragon. I like to usually pink it around that area. For warding, this is such an essential ward. I can't emphasize it. It just gives you so much vision of the river. And tri-bush, of course, needs to be warded. If you can safely, I like to ward their blue. And this one bugs me because a lot of supports I see ward this thing and oh, I ward this, we're good. It's actually a really bad spot to ward overall because it only look okay. Let's say I pretend I'm a ward. Look how it doesn't give enough vision. They could come easily through tri right here. It just doesn't give enough vision in my opinion for you to be honestly efficient enough to get the wards off that and stop a gank from happening or stop a roam from happening or whatever the case, or give yourself enough vision. And so that's how and that's where I like to ward in any lane. And warding is just so important throughout the game too. Next thing we're going to talk about is last hitting minions and freezing lane. They kind of go hand in hand. I can't really explain last hitting minions, and once you actually get it down. By the way, practice. A good way to practice is just going in these bot games. Don't even put bots in it. Just practice last hitting. It's an instinctive thing, and I mess it up a lot. Like right there, like I kind of underestimate my minions or overestimate them, and will screw it up. But like you just see, I keep waiting too long because I'm talking. Wow, that was a lag spike. Anyways, see, I just keep screwing that up. Anyways, it's not a very good video if I can't do it myself, huh? You just want to, last hit minions, all the ones you can. You try not to miss much CS, and so that's what you want to do. And then I'll clear this last one out. You kind of just know your attack speed. It's kind of just feeling it out, guys. And just feeling out how to, and its farm is so big, like I can't really emphasize enough. Like if you're losing lane, you can still lose lane and not feed. Like if you get like 1 or 2 deaths, you really can't duel them at that point without jungler's help or someone's help. So basically, you just farm. You play safe and you farm it up, and you farm smartly. and that's how it works. Now it's gonna be hard to show you freezing lane because all of my waves are pushed. Besides bottom, I'm not heading all the way back down there. Basically, freezing lane is just strictly last hitting. I'm not hitting a minion then hitting it again. I'm just sitting here waiting for it to get low enough for me to one hit it, and constantly just do that so that the lane stays in a general area. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. In just a general area, and so that you don't have to worry, too much about pushing too far or then pushing too far. It kind of just helps out. It's just a good strategy to farm up and just to play safe in a lane. I generally, if I don't want to, if I know my jungler's gonna have a hard, especially on AD carry, if I know my jungler's gonna have a hard time ganking or they're playing really aggressive, I will try to freeze the lane right outside of turret range and like around this area. It's a good spot to freeze it only because like if the jungler comes, you can quickly escape to your turret. And if your jungler comes, they're deeply pushed. They have to be, so it's a easier or better ganking opportunity for your jungler or for whoever's roaming. I'm not biased, but and that's just and that's that. And so that's just a good way. But last thing is so big because like I was just in a game with the Lucian that gave up. Our jungler went to gank bot stupidly. They had like no health, and Lucian and the support didn't. I don't remember the support. I only remember Lucian because it's the only AD carry I've played with today. I swear because he's new and stuff. But anyways. And the jungler came there after he just got a buff or something. Anyways, he was at half health, and they were at full, which was just a dumb gank. Anyways, so he goes in there, and he gives their Lucian a triple kill. And it's like, wow, GG at that point, right? Well, no, because our Lucian played really smart. He stopped going for kills, he stopped playing aggressive, and he just farmed. By the end of laning phase, he was at like 250, 260 CS, and their Lucian was like 120. Because their Lucian thought, oh, I'm at a triple kill, I got 3 kills, which comes back to something I'm going to tell you in a second. I don't need to farm. I'm good now. And our Lucian, farmed up and actually was ahead in build after laning phase because of it. If you get fed, you need to make sure you're still farming. Like, it is not just a ticket to stop farming because you get fed. And I'm not trying to last it right here. I'm just talking. So if I screw it up a lot, I'm honestly just really tired. So my last hitting kind of blows. That's why I'm not in a real game right now showing this video. But anyways, but like if you get fed, you need to make sure you're maintaining farm so you can keep an advantage over them, of course, and maintain it. So make sure you're doing that. Another thing I want to hit on here is ganks and successful ganks versus what people think is a successful gank, what really is a successful gank. People have this misconception, it's very common at lower ranked and lower ELOs, especially in normals, that if you don't get a kill, it's not a successful gank. Because there's no stats on the board, you don't get a gold out of it, nothing. But here's the thing, okay? You get flash out of a laner, it's a successful gank. If they ignite you out of fear, and there's no way you're gonna die to that ignite, and it's not really gonna do much, it's a successful gank. If they get an exhaust, if they use an exhaust, get summoner spells out of them, it's successful. And here's why: because that is now a cooldown, a 300-second cooldown on flash, and they have to play a lot more careful. They're going to be a little bit more fearful. Your laner can play a little bit better. 210 seconds on ignite. I just want to double check there, make sure I didn't say that wrong. It's a very good way of, getting the summoners out. And then, let's say I go mid, they flash, then I head top, and they flash again. Their top flashes. I can go back mid knowing their flash is on cooldown, gank him, and then go back top and get the gank there, because they have no flash, no escape. As long as I time the gank right when we play it right, it can happen. Now, obviously, it doesn't always work like that, but that's just an example of if everything goes okay, right? Since situation. And so, like, that's how I would say, that's a successful gank. So understand that getting kill doesn't necessarily mean it's not successful. Getting summoners is very good. And another thing I want to talk about is getting caught out, because a lot of newer players seem to get caught out a lot, and like understanding that you can go up like and clear a wave, right? Like right here, let's say no turrets were down, which would be really hard to say because late games are generally when people get caught, but like let's say no turrets are down, you can clear this wave pretty safely, especially if you have wards, right? And if you just keep some map presence. No, okay, Annie's mid right now with the jungler, and if you see him start to veer off towards top lane, back the hell off. Don't worry about the last 5 minions, like they're coming for you, so get out of there. And don't give up a kill. That's getting caught. And then they have a disadvantage. They can Baron, they can Dragon, they can push a team fight, push objectives. So you don't want to get caught. That's a big thing. So just don't get caught. Have good map awareness, etc. Um, and yeah, there's a lot more I'd like to go over, but it's really hard because I don't like this is all a learning process. What I recommend is bot games are really good for teaching you last hitting because you can just do what I'm doing right now and go into bot games and seriously just sit here with minions and practice freezing your lane, practice last hitting, and doing whatever. Actually, you really can't freeze a lane without another champion. I don't think now that I'm thinking about it because they need to kind of push too. Anyways, so my point here is that just practice this kind of stuff. Another thing, a big thing in lane is poking. Like you don't have to go like for a kill right away. If you keep poking away, like let's say this is their this first little minion is their champion. If I go okay hit, okay, and obviously just let it sit there. Like, okay, now I can get another auto off. Okay, and like Expunge killed it, but like let's say they just did another damage, and now they back off a little. They're at half health, and let's say you're still at full. Now that really opens up the door for your jungler to get a really good gank off, which could lead to a kill. Because they're low health already, they're going to get CC'd in the beginning regardless if they have flash up or not, unless they get a good flash off in the beginning. And regardless, it's going to be good. So you just poke. There's a difference between poking and going ham right away, and you definitely want to know the difference and understand the difference. And that's just that. And in trading, like if they auto you, auto them back. Like be ready for it. If Nunu goes to Q you, hit him back. Like don't let him get free harass off on you. That's a big part. And so yeah, that's what I would say. In team fights, guys. Another thing is having map awareness, knowing where your team is. Don't initiate a fight if your teammate's up top clearing farm, even if he should be mid. Whether it's his fault or not, you're gonna probably lose a team fight that's odd manned. So don't do that. And like there's just little things like that. And my recommendation is find a champion you like playing, definitely enjoy, that's not impossibly difficult to play. Like for me, the first champion I played was Morgana because she was free week, and my friend's like, hey, play this champion, maybe you'll like her, and I did. And I don't play her anymore really ever, but like I just focused on learning her and her alone, and got learned a lot of things about the game, and then kept trying out new champions as the game went on, tried out new roles, and learned the game as I went on. And so I will say that it's very important to make sure you're trying to learn and trying to understand how the game is going to work. And that's just it. And knowing your champion's build, like Google it, solo mid, mob fire, they all have good guides for what you want to do. Use it, go look up these guides, see what people do, ask somebody that may know. If you see a really good Twitch in your game and you want to know a good Twitch build, look at what he did or ask him, what do you do on Twitch? They usually don't mind answering questions, so I would say do it. That's what I did. Hell, that's how I learned how to play a lot of my champions. Like I saw their builds and like, hey, why did you build this? Kind of just ask them, in a respectful way, and they usually generally be cool about it, and so that's that. The last thing I really want to hit on is mentality. Like, a guy from CJ Frost, which is a Korean team, a really good, successful Korean team, named Flame. He's their top laner. He's a really good top laner. Probably top, definitely the top 5 in Korea. I'd say top 3 personally with Insect and Shy. But, what I'm getting to here is, just play... like they asked him, how do you dominate lanes so much? What do you do to win lanes so much? Can you give us some hints or some tips? And he said, it's really simple. I go into lane thinking that knowing that I will dominate the lane. And if you really think about what the guy's saying, it makes a lot of sense. He goes into it with the confidence of knowing he can win the lane, he can outplay the lane, and he, will do whatever it takes to do well in the game. So what I'm getting to with this is, don't be cocky. Don't go into, oh my god, this guy's gonna be so bad. But don't go into a lane like, oh my god, trying to mirror GG, I lose. Just go into it with like, hey, I might be able to win this. I can win this lane. Don't say I might be able to. Sorry, I was contradicting myself. I can win this lane. Just play smart, play effectively, and if nothing else, just farm and get it to late game in your heavy farm, your full build, and then you can play smart. So, and he just knows that he can go in, and that's what you should too. And me, mentality-wise, how I play well, and when I have a good games, it's usually just I go in with the idea of having fun. That's why I don't play ranked. I don't care about, I don't like ranked necessarily. I never had fun playing it. I just like having fun with the game, and I think you can too, as long as you just, chill out and just be like, oh, this is gonna be a fun game regardless. It is a video game. You're not getting paid to play it more than likely, because I don't think any pros are gonna watch how to be a better League player for beginners. And you know, just just enjoy the game, guys. That's the biggest part, because it is a video game at the end of the day. Um, and that's mentality aspect of it. Now, to wrap things up, guys, I don't pretend to be a great player. I barely have played any ranked games. I'm not even that great. Like, I do have bad games. Everybody does. Um, but I will say that these are basic things. I don't have. I do well in a lot of games. I'd like to think, but these are just basic things that I like to do that help me be better, and help me. I have more fun when I win games and when I win lane, especially when I do well. I have more fun. I'm not gonna lie. So these are things that I think are very basic that a lot of new players kind of don't get really learn unless they're taught or really explicitly shown. And I had the luxury of having a good friend show me how to play this game and how to really he really taught me everything that I needed to know to have fun but still play well, and so just these are just little tips for those people. These aren't meant to get you to diamond. Like I said, I can't give you a guide to that because I'm not a diamond player. And so and in conclusion, guys, I just really want you guys to, those of you that can use this, to use it, and I hope it does help you. And if I help 2 people, then maybe they'll show it to their friends and it'll help 2 more people, and so on. And only if I do help 2 people, at least it's helping 2 people. It's 2 more people in the community that might be better players, or at least I did help out, and that's what I want, is just to help out. So, in conclusion, guys, I'd like to thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe. Share with anybody that might need to see it or anybody that would want to see it. And I definitely would appreciate that. And if you guys have any questions or any other requests, please leave a comment below, or just a comment in general. Only thing I ask is, if you're gonna give me criticism, be respectful about it. Give me constructive criticism. I don't respond to trolls and I don't respond to assholes. So if you wanna give me some criticism, like, hey, you should say this more, you should have gone over this, be kind about it, tell me why, and I'll probably listen to you, because I'm really good at taking criticism, just as long as it's respectful, because I would do the same to you. But anyways, guys, enough of that. Thanks for watching. I hope it helped. Until next time, guys, have fun out there, and peace.